Once in a faraway village there were two men. The first was a farmer who would work in the fields day in and day out under the hot sun. He was one of the best farmers in the village. He really loved working with his hands, tending to the crops and animals. The farmer's job was to provide food for everyone and to make sure they would survive throughout the winter. The other was a younger man with a much more privileged upbringing. He was a smart child and his parents would spoil him. He would sit around reading books and old texts that he found. One day, the village became under attack from a neighboring foe. The town panicked as they were used to living in peace. So the village chief sent out notice to see if there was anyone who would help. One of them was the younger man. He came over claiming that he knew exactly what to do. He had come across war stories and war strategies that were very complicated to the common citizen, but shared them in an attempt to help. He wrote everything down on a piece of paper. But it was too complex. These strategies could only be understood by high-level generals and military men. The village chief and elders didn't understand anything. They needed a strategy that was easy to apply. Then, as the young man left, the farmer walked in with an idea. He remembered seeing a cliff one day while he was herding sheep. He thought out loud and said that if they can somehow trick the invading enemy to get near the cliff, they could easily defeat them by forcing them off the cliff or meet them at the sword. The village chief and elders were very surprised but happy. It would take some courage, but this was a much more simpler plan that was easy to apply and that everyone could understand. Then, as the enemy approached the village, the villagers set up decoys made of straw and clothing not too far from the cliff. They also put animal hide on boulders, making them look like horses from far away. The invaders fell for the trick and rushed towards the straw men, not knowing that a giant cliff awaited them. As they neared their doom, the village militia came up from behind and forced a great number of them down the big fall. And the other half that turned to face the militia stood no chance because they were too outnumbered. It was a great victory devised from a simple plan. You see, I believe the same thing happens to us in life. A lot of times we tend to overcomplicate and overthink things. Instead of writing down a simple plan or approaching our goals with baby steps, we want to achieve great strides in as little time as possible, and this tends to overwhelm us, leaving us feeling like the task is impossible to achieve. But when we give ourselves enough time, take small steps every day towards the thing it is that we want, we tend to stick longer to the project and feel less burnt out by the process. And that is what ultimately leads us to accomplish our goals. Remember to love the process and give yourself as much time as it takes, and I guarantee you can achieve mostly anything you set your heart out to. I hope this message can help you or someone you love. This is the Prosperity Code, wishing you a blessed day.